AITA for demanding my husband to pay back the $6,000 he spent on golf clubs? I'm a nurse and have been working more hours for the past 6 months to be able to save money to fix the ceiling in our house. I've saved up to $8,000 in my account, and since my husband hasn't worked since 2020, I'm trying to balance rent and utilities payments. My husband is a golf enthusiast, and so are his friends. Only difference is that all his friends are well off and they can afford expensive golfing gear and trips. They mentioned wanting to go on a golfing trip next week and invited my husband, but he initially refused. Though he really wanted to go, but complained about how his friends bought fancy golfing gear while all he has is old gear. He asked if I could lend him $6,000 so he could buy a set of golfing clubs, but I refused. Because $6,000 for a set of clubs is crazy expensive, especially for someone who doesn't work. He got upset and accused me of holding his employment over his head when he couldn't help it. Anyway, I thought we were over this argument, but I had discovered that he had pulled the $6,000 out of my account and purchased the set behind my back. I went home and exploded on him. He swore he'd return the money once he gets back from his trip, but I told him he had no right to take the money and spend it on a set of clubs while the ceiling needs fixing. He said the ceiling doesn't require $6,000 either, but the kids' room was affected too. I demanded that he return the set or pay me the $6,000 right there and then. He told me I was being unfair to him and that he's feeling stuck because his friends can afford to buy whatever, while he's being yelled at for wanting something for himself for once. I told him to get a job and buy himself whatever. He tried to tell me he'll pay me when he finds a job, which is after he gets back from his trip, but I refused. He kept begging me to let him just go on the trip and we'll figure it out later, but I said no. If it wasn't for something as important as the ceiling, I would have maybe waited, but he's saying I'm abusive and controlling of his life. Edit. First of all, I'm getting too many comments. I'm too overwhelmed to respond. People that are suggesting I return the clubs myself. I can't because he never brought them to the house. I've never seen them and I don't know where he's hiding them. I suspect his brother's house, but I'm on really bad terms with him and can't go to his house. So the argument now is just him pushing to get me to stay quiet till he gets back from the trip, but I'm putting my foot down and refusing. NTA. He is a father with a house that is falling apart. His wants and fun go out the window in the face of his family's needs. NTA. Return the clubs and the husband for refunds. NTA and stick his ass in the doghouse for the duration of his buddy's golf trip. Man won't get a job. Hasn't had one in 2 years. And wants to spend your money on golf clubs? That's not a husband. That's a parasite. NTA. It's unfair that they can buy whatever is childish and unreasonable. Info. Why isn't he working? NTA. This is a massive red flag. He stole from you. $6,000 is a lot of money, and if he's not working, how on earth is he gonna pay you back? The fact that you are working your ass off to repair the ceiling, which is a major need, and he thinks that golf clubs are more urgent than home repairs, really shows how childish he is. NTA. He stole your money and tried to make you feel guilty about being rightfully angry about what he did. He doesn't fucking work and stole $6,000 from you to buy golf clubs, for crying out loud. He said he's getting yelled at for doing something for myself for once, which means going behind my wife's back, who is a nurse and works crazy hours, while I sit back and don't work and steal 6 kelvins from her because I'm jealous of all my friends' success. What a loser. NTA. He stole from you. This wasn't your fun money. This was fix the damn house money. If he wants fancy clubs, He can get off his ass and get a job. I'm furious for you. Start taking his name off shit because he can't be trusted. NTA. Why is he even going on a trip if he isn't working? He stole from you and is a user. Is this really who you want to spend your life with? NTA. This is money you earned for a specific purpose. The ceiling. You already told him that he could not spend that money. He hasn't worked since 2020 but will pay you back. When exactly? He can't because he doesn't even have a job. He is going on a golfing trip while you continue to put in more hours at work? When do you get to take a trip? When do you get to go on a vacation? His friends can afford to go on a trip. He can't. Life isn't fair. He needs to get over it. Grow up and quit acting like a 12-year-old. You take the clubs back and get your money which you need to put in an account he can't access. He is not to be trusted. You might also reconsider this marriage. He stole from you. NTA. Why doesn't he get a job? NTA. If your husband is jealous because his friends can afford nicer toys than he can, perhaps he should get a fucking job. Were I you, I'd be removing his access to your account because it's obvious he can't be trusted. NTA. But your husband sure is. It takes some serious mental gymnastics for him to think stealing $6,000 is ever okay. Let alone for a random luxury item to impress his friends. If he's feeling stuck, then he can solve that by getting employed and purchasing his own toys. NTA. I'm not even sure why Op posted this. He's been unemployed for what sounds like almost 2 years and has the nerve to steal $6,000 from his wife. Yay no to all that. Honestly, I'd tell his friends. Let them know that those expensive clubs came at the expense of his family, home, and kids. It's obvious he seems to care more about their opinion than yours. Maybe getting his friends to shame him might make him listen to you when his unemployed self spends $6,000 on effing golf equipment. NTABTW. ETA. Are you sure he actually spent the money on golf clubs? Was the $6,000 taken out directly or did you see the charge from a store? They can be pretty pricey, but I almost wonder if he's got a habit he doesn't want you knowing about. 'Cause it's hard to believe anyone would spend $6,000 on golf clubs at your income level. Dear God, no. Take those clubs. If he won't listen to reason. And he won't. Because clearly he's a selfish parasitic asshole. I'd threaten to tell all his friends what he's done. Change your bank account details so he can't pull this stunt again. And also change the locks. With him and his stuff outside, he can go and stay with all his rich friends. NTA. Info. What is he doing with his time while unemployed? Is he carrying the cleaning and childcare load of a SAHP? Either way, he is an off for taking $6,000 after being told no. But if he's being a SAHP, then you could have discussed a more affordable option. If, however, he's just dossing about, then 100% NTA. NTA. Who the hell puts new gear for a golfing trip over the well-being and safety of their kids? A leak in the roof can lead to far more expensive repairs and structural damage down the road. And it isn't like he couldn't go with his old gear. Surely they know he's been out of work for a bit and there's a pandemic, etc. Or has he been lying to them? If so, he could have lied to his buddies if he's that ashamed about not affording new stuff. What? This stuff? It's sentimental. It has so many good memories and memories can't be bought. Get the money back and tell him that he finds a job. Any job, delivering stuff, factory work, janitorial work, fast food, anything, it is good. Honest labor and carries zero shame. To pay his part of the partnership. Unless of course he is doing the full traditional house spouse labor as an alternative. In which case it is just money back that he stole. NTA. My ex was like this too. It didn't get better and now I'm a single mom with very little help from him. NTA. He stole from you. OMG, what a childish human. Your sweat equity was rightfully supposed to improve your living situation and not his fun. Revoke his access to your account. He's proven you can't trust him. NTA. This is theft. Plain and simple. And even beyond that, your lazy husband is being a petulant child. Tell him to find a more inexpensive hobby and/or a job. There are plenty of places looking for workers right now. Hell, ask him to ask his buddies for recommendations.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.